name is Alyssa.
And I'm Emily.
And you're listening to Slash and Slay, a horror podcast. Hey guys.
Hey everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy
Emily.
Terrifying Tuesday.
Happy Terror Tuesday.
Ooh.
I hope everyone has had a beautiful, wonderful week. Their first week of or I guess this is their second week of November. I hope that half of your November has gone well so far.
That's crazy. It's already halfway.
I know. We're already almost at turkey time.
Almost turkey time.
Turkey time.
How many Thanksgivings are you going to have this year?
Just one.
Just one
I'm
big
trying to
one.
adjust myself on the couch, not...
Adjust.
I'm adjusting.
I think I'm having 3.
3?
A 3.
Wow.
We should have Friendsgiving.
Oh. I guess technically last Sunday I went to a Friendsgiving.
Oh, you did?
I did. At church.
Hmm.
So I guess that counts.
That counts. Yeah,
So
I
I've already
don't
had
know if
one.
we're going to go to our church Thanksgiving. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Probably no. But we're having one on next Sunday with my immediate family, my household.
Mm-hmm.
And then extended families on Thanksgiving Day. And then I'll probably go to another one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe boyfriend.
Yeah, my friend. Well,
But we can talk about our Thanksgiving plans.
Oh, yeah. Next week, because next week is a...
Is a Thanksgiving one.
Very Thanksgiving-y episode.
Very Thanksgiving-y episode. Before we get into everything,
Mm-hmm.
have you had any holiday drinks at Starbucks yet?
I haven't had a single one.
Are you still in your pumpkin
No.
cold brew? No.
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 I did have 1 or 2 of those, and I didn't like them this year as much. But because I always get the brown sugar shaken espresso,
So good.
and to me it's just like year round. Like it works for fall, it works for winter,
Summer.
it works for spring, it works for summer.
You can make that so easy too.
Yeah, I haven't made one that I feel
You
like it like holds up, but
you can buy the syrup from Starbucks.
true. I probably need to get some brown sugar syrup. Although I've been making lattes at home,
Good for you.
like hot lattes,
Yummy.
and I use real brown sugar,
And
and they taste like really good.
yeah,
I need to make you one
please make me one
day.
I always come here at night, so I don't need one.
Yeah,
But
and I don't have decaf espresso yet.
I had gingerbread latte. Well, I actually had an Americano with soy milk and 1 pump of gingerbread.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like soap.
Yeah,
I was so excited for them to bring back gingerbread.
it doesn't
But
sound
it's
like it
weird.
would taste good.
I love gingerbread, and I love gingerbread lattes, but
Like with Americano,
I don't know. It was just
and what kind of milk?
soy. But I love their soy milk.
Hmm.
Starbucks soy milk is sweetened, so it has like a vanilla.
I just don't know if that's a good combination.
Maybe that's the problem. But also it's weird because they're not like advertising like gingerbread latte. It's
Right.
only the chai oat milk gingerbread latte.
Right. Which I wanted to try.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Maybe I'll try it on Christmas Eve.
Only on Christmas Eve.
Only as my Christmas Eve treat.
I did get a draw my mic. A frosted sugar cookie creamer.
I got a gingerbread oat milk creamer.
Nice. Guys,
Are y'all just like so
riveted?
excited? Sorry, I just had to
My-
talk about it.
well, yeah, and my brain is kind of mush right now because of what we just
I feel
experienced.
like there is a tone, like a dial tone in my head right now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I feel a little bit of a lag going on.
A little
Some
bit.
static.
Like there's some nonsense syllable singing going on in my head.
Yeah.
We always act like we're like revealing something as if the title of the episode isn't exactly what we're talking about.
I know. Well, maybe people click and they don't read.
That's true.
It's possible.
I do that all the time.
I don't, but some people do, like Emily.
Like me.
Are you like Emily? Or are you like me?
I finally stopped getting in trouble at work for clicking the spam emails. I would always be like, click.
Oh no! Are you the reason cybersecurity had to like?
Yeah, I kept having to go through training like over and over. And I was like, what? I thought like...
That's so funny.
So, sorry everybody.
Every single email I get is spam. Even if it's from someone I know.
Spam.
Spam.
Delete.
Sorry,
I didn't see.
I did one time. I got an email from someone who it was like my work email, but I had never got an email from this person before, and I called my boss. And I was like, who is this guy? And he was like, oh, he works in like a different office. I was like, okay. I was like, because am I allowed to respond to an email from him? Because I've never heard of him in my life.
There you go. You're overly cautious, and I
am underly cautious.
Now I just delete everything that is not from the 3 main people that I need to know. Anyway, today we're going to talk about...
Guys, we watched Skinamarink. So that you didn't have to.
So you don't have to. For you gals who... maybe it's not calling to you. Maybe you're a little too scared. I mean, this does have a big reputation for being a very scary movie.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I had no idea anything about it.
I didn't either. I knew it was like kid related, and I knew some kids' toys would be involved in some way.
Okay.
That's about all I knew about it.
I honestly had no idea this came out last year. I thought it was like an older movie, like
no,
early 2000s.
They make it seem like it is.
Yes, they do. It's all shot on like I'm not good with cameras.
I don't know what kind of camera.
16 millimeter, is that a thing?
Maybe an 8mm.
Yeah, something like that.
Is it 8mm was big in the 80s?
Probably that then.
This took place in 1995.
Which doesn't really have any bearing on the story in any
It really
way.
Doesn't, except for maybe like
it's just the vibes.
Also
like
the cartoons,
establishing no
cell phones, internet,
internet, just the TV, cartoons, DVD, cable. So this movie, just like a whole overview, it's a very elevated on elevated horror.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know if it was going to be like that. Like, I thought it was just going to be regular horror movie.
I had a feeling it was something different because I've heard some people say this movie is really scary, but there was a but in there.
That's really weird.
And now I understand the but for sure.
I think so. It's a very disorienting film. And a lot of the time, it's like you're given the very bare minimum information from context,
right?
Clues.
You really have like from the beginning. You have no idea. You're figuring it out.
Yeah, you're figuring it out.
We didn't even read the.
No, I didn't even read the synopsis. And even the synopsis, I was like, what?
Little blurb about it.
Yeah, no. So bear with us because a lot of the times we were just like, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that? Wait, I thought this.
Yeah.
It's a very small cast. There's just the mom, the dad. Or the dad, the mom
and
Kevin and Kaylee.
Yeah,
the two kids.
And it's very dark. It's like physically dark.
Dark,
staticky, grain, super grainy. Like strain your. Maybe that's why I feel so.
I was like literally like I think I got crow's feet from watching that movie because I was squinting.
Like kind of hurting a little.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's almost like it's not images. It's like live
stills.
Stills.
The whole movie is almost comprised totally of stills.
Yeah. There's some parts where there is moving.
Some slight movement. And that's when it would like.
That's when it's actually to me is
a little
scary.
Yeah.
But you're constantly looking to see if something's in the dark.
A lot of the times the stills would just be of the dark.
Yeah.
And maybe a little glow on the side, and it was just enough to try and make something out, because your brain is trained, especially if you watch horror movies, to like see what's in the dark. There's going to be something in the dark. And this director, let's see, I forgot his name. Let's see.
Looks like he would direct this movie.
Oh yeah, he definitely was giving that vibes. Kyle Edward Ball, he actually had a short film called Heck, and it was a similar premise to Skinamarink, and then after that he went ahead and made this feature length Skinamarink. The director said that he posted on Reddit and asked for people's childhood nightmares, and that's kind of what inspired him to make this. So very much focusing on being afraid of the dark, what's under the bed, what do shadows create? Creepy shadows create things, and your mind can imagine things in the dark. as a child.
Yeah, like staring down a hallway.
Yeah, you're gonna see something. Like, it's proven fact. Creeping around at night. Like, I remember doing that as a kid and like my heart racing, you know, being so scared when it's just like, I'm going to the bathroom, you know.
Yeah.
So it's very much like that. He also like keeps the camera low.
Yes, the camera is literally low the whole time because it's like all from a kid's
childhood eye level. Yeah.
So it's never like adult height ever. I don't think.
You feel very vulnerable and like disoriented because everything's so low and you know, you're limited into what you can see and what you can reach and things like that. And yeah, it's the movie starts off with,
it's okay. It's gonna be hard to like.
It's gonna be hard to give
go
a whole
in sort
narrative.
of any like what it is. The premise is there's these two kids, who discovered that their dad is missing from the house. They
Which
can't
took me
find
like
him.
probably half the movie to be like, oh, the dad's missing.
Yeah, I kind of figured it out, but Emily was like, he's sleeping hard. I was like, Emily, no, he's gone. And she was like, he's sleeping.
Yeah, she kept being like, where's the dad? I was like, he's sleeping.
Like, no, I think he's gone.
Yeah, he's literally gone.
But the kids discover that their dad's gone, and they have to kind of fend for themselves. One thing I didn't really realize, it says in the little blurb that also the doors and windows disappear.
Yeah, so it all of a sudden,
I didn't get that. I kept like, why don't they just go to the neighbors?
Yeah, that's what we kept being like.
Because I didn't. What would I do? There were parts where like doors would like, they would make like a Twilight Zone like ding ding ding, and the doors would like disappear. But I didn't know there was a door there already, or a door appeared, and then so I was confused.
Yeah, it would be like a blank wall, and then a door or an object, something would appear, and then it would go away again. Like, it was there, and then now it's not. So I think that, you know, looking back, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what they were saying. But in the moment, I was like, oh, okay, a door appeared. I kept thinking like alternate dimension, which I think it was trying to do that in a way. I think like the ether, is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the ether has something to do with it. But, yeah. And also the kids, like, there's very, very little dialogue in this whole movie.
Very
so
little.
The kids aren't really narrating anything, and it's so dark and you're so like disoriented that it's kind of hard to like pick up that there's no doors or windows, you know?
And it's also kind of hard to differentiate the kids' voices. To me, it was.
Yes. Yeah. Which
like obviously when they were talking to each other, I could tell, but
yeah, which also added to the whole confusion.
Yeah.
Discombobulation.
Yeah, I was constantly confused.
Literally so confused this whole movie. But I think, you know, if you think about it, like, that is the whole point. Yeah. Just being so confused and feeling weird.
Feeling like a child who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And hearing noises and seeing strange things. Like, the scarier parts were definitely when the camera was moving. So there was one part where Kaylee, the little girl, goes upstairs into her parents' room, and she sees her dad.
Sorry, we're boring you.
I'm sorry. Boring myself. The shape of her
outline.
It's her dad, because he's like wearing his pajamas.
Yeah.
And he's like, Kaylee, look under the bed.
Oh, it's so creepy.
And it's from her. It's like a POV shot, so it's just like moving so slowly. And like, obviously, like, it goes along the bed, and so like he disappears for a second. You don't know
what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and she keeps looking under the bed, and you're expecting something. You're constantly
the whole time you're thinking
expecting something to happen.
Which, that's what I said halfway through. I was like, man, every single thing I predict doesn't happen. Yeah. And I think that's the point. It's like really challenging what we as horror viewers expect to see. Like, this is definitely like a seasoned horror viewer.
And it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat, especially, of course,
it scared me.
Towards the end, it scared me. Was I confused? Yes. Is that bad? Not necessarily.
And it honestly, like, it could definitely be my fault because I do not watch things like this.
I don't either. I watch like
very straightforward
things, and I mean it is slow.
Very slow.
Not
that
beginning,
that's a bad thing.
Especially in the beginning, like the first 30 minutes.
The first 30 minutes, I was like...
I will say nothing happens. Literally nothing happens.
Yeah, spoiler, nothing happens. I don't even know if we mentioned this, but they are hearing this voice whispering to them. And it's like a very creepy voice being like, Kevin, come upstairs. And like really creepy. Yeah. And telling them to do things. And what you gather from the very little dialogue is... if they don't obey the voice, then bad things happen to them. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of forced to go along with this voice. They've tried to call 911, which actually Alyssa picked up on. I didn't. I was like, oh, they're trying the phone. But you could distinctly hear like, ding, 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 like 911, you know, like the sound. Because, you know, obviously the kids aren't saying like, I'm going to call 911.
Or I'm going to call like my grandmother or something.
Pretty much the dialogue stays to like, did you see anything?
Yeah, it's literally like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Can we watch something happy? Like, that's
I'm gonna get you some juice.
Literally, that's it. Yeah.
I saw something weird upstairs.
Yeah, like hardly. They probably talk like 3 times.
Yeah, it's.
And the other times it's just like they're standing there. Or there's the TV. There's constantly cartoons playing in the background. Mm-hmm. And it's just this low, like, sound of...
the music. The
vintage cartoons singing and playing in
I will say, I have a beef to pick. Because they did not play the Skinamarink song.
I know, they didn't.
Like, you can't name your movie Skinamarink and not play the Skinamarink song.
I thought they were going to do it at the very end.
Just like with Five Nights at Freddy's. They didn't play the freaking theme.
Two nights in a row. Two movies in a row that we've
talked about. 2
nights
nights in a row.
They haven't played the iconic music.
Yeah.
I think I would have laughed a little bit if they played it at the very end.
Me too.
I would have been like, hee hee. But I needed to laugh at the end.
I needed it.
I needed one good
So there's a part that's freaky where the disembodied. Mm-hmm. Is that the word? Disembodied.
Yes.
It makes it discombobulated. Disembodied voice tells Kevin to take a utility knife.
Which at 4 years old, I could not open a utility knife. I can barely do it now.
And cut his eye or stab. Yeah. Put it in his eye.
Put it in your eye. And it's so like escalates so quickly.
Yes.
Alyssa was literally like, this is so like, I don't know. Nothing's happening.
And then all of a sudden
he said, put it in your eye.
And it was like, you heard click, click, click. It said utility knife, which I wouldn't have known. We had the captions on. Yes. Which was very helpful because otherwise would not have known a single thing going on.
Yeah, the Foley was very strange because like, and I guess it was trying to be very visceral. Yeah. And it was very like crunchy sounding. But like the footsteps sounded like wet. Like, it was like,
I don't know if I would have known sometimes that it was a footstep.
No, I would have thought it was something else. It sounded like a wet shuffle.
Yeah.
Like the carpet was wet. And then one time when he was, spoiler alert, they walk on the ceiling because everything's like upside down for a minute. It sounded like he was wearing heels. And I was like, you're literally barefoot. So I was very confused. But yeah, if we had not had the subtitles on, I would not have known what half the things.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, some the movie does have subtitles anyway. So
yeah, it does. Whenever like the voices talk, it does. But like the Foley subtitles, I was glad we had that.
Needed.
So he clicks the knife. It's like utility knife click. It's like click, 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 and then you just hear like kind of a squelching noise.
And then you just hear screaming.
And then you hear this kid just like sobbing, screaming, crying. It was a little heartbreaking.
It was sad.
Because these little sad. Sweet like little voices were very like, I mean, those real kids like that age probably.
So sweet. Yeah. The kids, it really did break my heart a little bit. This is a little trigger warning for this movie. Mm-hmm. It's sad. Anything with kids it really gets me with horror. So, it's just so hard to be like, this movie's about this, because there's not really a beginning, there's not really an ending. No. And
you're literally so sorry. I'm like mid yawn. It's late.
It's kind of late. Yeah,
it's kind of late for us. It literally felt like just coming into the middle of like someone's life.
Yes. Or a nightmare.
Or
being dropped into a nightmare.
Yes. True.
I don't know. I really did not enjoy it. I think I did. I mean, it's hard to say like I enjoyed this movie because I don't think it's supposed to be enjoyable.
I love this movie.
I really appreciate the experimentation that it took because, like I said, as a seasoned horror viewer, I think it's good to be challenged on what we watch every now and then. Like, challenge my expectations. Actually, freak me out. Don't let me predict what's going to happen.
And I was breathing heavy.
She was.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I was too. I was going like this, and I was just like melting into the couch, like
I just
covering my eyes.
I kept having to sit up and then lay down and stuff because it was like stressing. It was very stressful.
At one point she was like, I decided I'm not gonna be scared anymore. And then like 5 seconds later we were covering our ears and our eyes again. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just you could not predict what was gonna happen. So that made it that much more scary because usually when I'm scared in a movie, I'm like, a jump scare is happening. You can at least know, because I can always predict there was no music. The only music was like the cartoon sound effects. Yes.
And cartoon music. And there was no music, and usually in movies you can predict because the music was quiet.
Yes.
And so you know to plug your ears because there's probably going to be a jump scare.
Yeah. But no.
No, there was no
tells.
No really way to predict if there was going to be a jump scare or not. You just kind of had to assume there always was going to be. Yeah,
because the one time you didn't assume, then it would have like
even the jump scares weren't the same kind of jump scares as normal. It was
more like jump cuts.
Yeah.
Like just all of a sudden new frame, and it would be like a very loud noise that is not like a bang or anything. It would just be like going from some completely dark, completely quiet shot to all of a sudden the TV on really loud, and you'd be like, I was going to say something I forgot now. It left me. It's Skinamarinked.
It's Skinamarinked right on out of there.
It disappeared. Things do disappear in the movie. The toilet goes.
I think we should start calling when things disappear Skinamarinked.
It's Skinamarinked.
Like, my idea just Skinamarinked.
That's what I said. My idea just Skinamarinked.
I like it.
We'll just keep it.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
The toilet disappeared, yes. So they had to use buckets.
Poor babies. At least they thought to do that.
My nephews, if that happened to my nephews, there'd be piss and poo everywhere.
Not even in the sink?
No, not even in the bathroom.
They'd be like, yeah, you can do it
free range, no toilet. What am I supposed to do?
Good for them. Good for them.
Good for them. The ending shot.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say there was one part where, because we said that you had to just assume that there was going to be a jump scare. Alyssa was like, there has to be a payoff. There has to be something.
Because like you're staring into the dark so much. You're staring
into the dark.
Just trying to see something.
And at some point I'm like, please let me see. Like I hope to see something scary. Because you're like, just get it over with. Like, because the anticipation's building so much. Like, let me just see the horrible thing that's building up. And she's at the end there is a I can't, it's so scary. There is a payoff. There's
a payoff, and it's not really what you think.
No.
It says you hear crawling sounds, which it says crawling sounds. Which seeing it say crawling sounds scared me more than the actual crawling sounds.
I couldn't even hear the crawling sounds. I would have just assumed it was like static or something.
Yeah. And then there's like in the darkness, there's like a face that comes through.
Indiscernible.
But it's like uncanny valley. Because it's like an old woman, then it morphs into like a blob. I don't know. It's
literally like when you were a kid and it was all dark and you're just staring at yourself in the mirror and you freak out.
Exactly.
Because you change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's like asking,
what's your name?
What's your name? Go to sleep.
Oh yeah, it says go to sleep.
It says go to sleep.
Then ask what's your name twice. And Alyssa had just been like, what if they said our names?
I did, because there was one part where like the voice kept saying like Kevin, Kaylee, and like there was a part where it was like, oh, indiscernible whispering. I was like, what if they had somehow I think one day they'll make a movie like that where you can like
it's
insert
like
yourself into it in a way.
Yeah, like the Black Mirror, like choose your own adventure things, but like they can actually
like for like actually like you.
Heck no.
So
I'm sorry if your name's Kevin or Kaylee and you watch this movie.
Right.
Please don't.
It would like whisper like Emily, Alyssa. Just like while we're sitting here and we don't expect it, like that would be so terrifying.
That's why I was scared when she was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Don't even think it. Don't. She's gonna know."
Because if she just said it at the end,
I thought it was an old lady the whole time. Pretty much, like I thought it was like old lady skeleton potato looking. Kind of looked like.
To me, see, it looked like different things. It did look like an old lady, but then it morphed into like a scarecrow. I saw a scarecrow. Did you see a scarecrow?
I saw old lady for the most part, like kind of like American Gothic, that painting. That's kind of the old lady I saw a little bit. It was just so creepy at the end.
It was very unsettling.
Very unsettling. And like I said, it did play a little bit with the ether when things were disappearing. And at the end, you're kind of like assuming that the house is in the ether. Everybody's gone, like
because there's
disappeared.
Like, you see like the house with like blank spaces around it.
Yeah, and I will say, I think we were kind of haters at the beginning because we were just so like.
Yes, and I would not suggest this movie to someone with a short attention span. Like, no, I would not be able to watch this movie with my husband because we would get 5 minutes into it and he'd be like, this is it. I can't do this.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. I also think if you are not familiar with horror, like if you haven't really watched any horror, this is not a good beginner.
Yeah, it's not a good beginner horror at all.
Not a good beginner horror. But if you want to tell your friends that you watched it.
Yes.
Just say that the worst part was when the kid stabbed his eye.
Yeah, when the voice told the kid to stab his eye.
Yes, and then that shot from underneath the counter.
Oh, yeah.
And there was blood on the wall. That was scary.
And then you can say the part about the face at the end.
Yeah, the face
and
at the end.
And like make up something that the face looked like to you.
White blob-ish.
Yeah.
And then you can also be like, yes, the creepy voice that kept changing tones. That was so scary.
Yeah. So there we go. We just made you a
Skinamarink
seasoned horror Skinamarink debonair.
I also don't think this is like I'm gonna rewatch this movie. No. Like I don't think I'll ever rewatch it again, just because it's like, not that it was bad, right? Like I'm not saying this is bad at all. Like I think it's a good movie. I think it was made well. Movie. It's just not rewatch. There's no rewatchability. But not every movie has to, and not every movie has to have a whole arc or any sort of anything like that. Like I think this was very much, as I like to say, slice of life horror. Slice of like apparently 575 days.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, there was a part where it said 575 days, and I have no idea what that means.
I'm assuming Kevin was there for 575 days.
Yeah. Which is what, 2 years? Less than 2 years?
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was also trying to think of like what I would do if I was 4 years old and I cannot find my parents. I think I would just eat a lot of waffles.
Yeah, just eat food
and watch TV too.
I would probably eventually go to neighbors, but if there was no doors or windows, how do you?
That is terrifying.
Like, get out.
What did they do?
It's poor kids.
I know.
I felt bad
for them. Poor babies.
Poor babies.
I'm like interested to see what happened to the mom and dad. Like, what is this? I mean, the entity says that they can do anything.
Right.
And it kind of seems like they can.
Yeah.
Which is also scary because in normal horror, there's a weakness.
Right. There's some way to defeat them. There was no known weakness here. Not anyone that you were going to find out. It wasn't like a this versus that. It was literally just this thing is here and it's going to do what it's going to do.
And it has no motive. We don't know why. Which is also scary because the unknown is very scary. And spoiler, it wins.
Spoiler.
The humans do not win in this one.
Humans do not win.
From what I can tell.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What else do we have to say about Skinamarink? Skinamarink, dink.
That's what I have to say about it.
Burped. I got her a Coke Zero. She's been burping for...
You have too.
I did burp a long one.
You got a Diet Dr. Pepper.
I had DDP.
DDP.
There's not a DC to be found in that whole
No
Walmart.
DC, just a CZ.
A CZ and a DDP.
That's how we be.
And a Skinamarink. That's how we be.
That's how we be. Do you slash it or slay it, Emily?
It's kind of hard. I mean, like, I say slay because I think it did what it was trying to do, and I think it did it well. It scared me. I appreciated the liberties and experimentation it took. I think it's definitely not for everyone, but I do not regret watching it. In hindsight, I think I really do admire the filmmaking. The acting is really good. Those little kids. I want to know what it was like on set, because I feel like it was not that dark. Like, there's no way they would put them in the dark like that.
And like, I mean, literally, it's just like you see feet. You see, like...
They probably filmed that thing in a day with the kids.
Yeah.
And they said, send them home.
Right?
We're done.
No more.
And the parents, all they did was sit on a bed for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Then they just did, like, a bunch of lights turning on and toys hanging. Like, really, I don't think... It didn't, like, involve that many people.
No. Also, like, it did take me back to a childlike fear state. And, yeah. I think... Oh, also, I really, really appreciated the way it used lighting in this. So I slay it.
Nice.
What about you?
I also slay it for similar reasons. I think I would have always wondered, like, I would have always wanted to, like, watch it. So like you said, I'm glad that I did. I don't have any regrets about it. Now I know there was a lot of hype about it.
Yeah.
I saw on TikTok there was hype about it. People were really scared of it. And I can see why. Like,
if I was by myself, no way.
Yeah, no.
I'd be so scared.
I would be so freaked out. I'd be on my phone like the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what we kept doing. We did go on our phones a couple times just because I couldn't handle it, and B, it, like I said, it's slow in some places that you're like, okay, I just have a feeling nothing's gonna happen. So
yeah.
But overall, I would also slay it because I think, like you said, it did its job. It was different. It was experimental, but not like so far out there. Yeah. That it was like, what?
It wasn't like gross just to be experimental or
exactly.
Anything. So I think he had a clear vision of what he wanted. And I think he accomplished that, which is all you can ask for from a director.
Right.
I was just like a little bit of a hater at the beginning, and I was a hater at the end because I was just so freaked out. Right. Because after that I was like, there's an hour and 40 minutes of my life I'll never get back, because I was so scared of that white blob.
Yeah, white blob is freaky.
Yeah, we were like concerned because we were like, there's no way we can talk about this movie for an hour, and I really don't think there is, because it's like
you'd be like, and I'm like, as we look at the time, we're not going to talk about it for an hour.
No. But are you done talking about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Since it is inspired by childhood nightmares, I thought we could talk about our own personal childhood nightmares.
Yes.
Do you remember one specifically?
I do.
Okay.
And it's so interesting to me. Oh, God.
She is like adjusting.
I am struggling.
Your boob is out.
Oh, my gosh.
Boobie. I see
don't
boobie.
Look at that. Anyways. It's just so interesting that I feel like everyone, I mean, more so, like, some people have more, but like everyone has at least one nightmare that they remember, right? Well, I don't know how old. I want to say 7 or 8.
That's how old I am when mine was.
Maybe 6, 7. I was in gymnastics. And I was like really afraid of a lot of adults growing up. I was afraid of getting yelled at. I was afraid of being like even a stern talking to. Even a stern look
could ruin your day.
Could like take me out. And I remember I had a gymnastics coach who I think he was like, I want to say like the bars. And I didn't like do that, but like we learned like tumbling.
Right.
And then I think we would try like balance beam, and then we would try bars. We'd try pommel horse. I don't know. I
did gymnastics for a year, so I'm well.
I think I know more about gymnastics than you do, genius.
Yeah. I could roll on the balance beam.
Oh.
Don't know about you.
Actually, yeah, I could too. Probably not great. I probably
not as good as me.
Needed help. Probably not. You're right.
I think I was like 5.
I was a very lanky child.
I was not. I was a roly-poly. As I am now.
But I don't know. I don't think this guy even ever, he was like, this is what I remember. So I could be completely wrong. He could be completely opposite. And I'm well aware of that. But in my memory, he was like a beefy guy. And he wore like a tight shirt and like tight shorts and a whistle. This is my memory.
Stereotype.
And I feel like it's wrong, but I don't remember him doing anything. I don't remember him yelling. Maybe I saw him yell at someone else, like older girls or something, like actually doing gymnastics, and that's where it comes from. I think I only remember like him maybe like us doing the bars and him like holding my waist. Okay. It's all I really remember about him.
He didn't do anything to you. He didn't
fight
you or anything.
He didn't do anything to me. I don't know what it is. But I had this dream that I was stuck in this like black void space. But there was like things kept coming up and everything was like colorful. And it was like,
it's like color out of space.
Yes. And it was like polka dots and like swirls and stuff.
Did your mom give you shrooms with your dad? Jeez.
And there was this I'm trying to go back. It's like, because I don't remember like the plot. I just remember the images. There was an elephant who wore like polka dots, and the elephant was my friend.
This is so weird because I cannot wait for you to hear mine.
Okay. And I would like, and I think this comes from Dumbo. Oh. The elephants on parade in Dumbo. Gosh. That's where I think this comes from, honestly.
Or the heffalumps and woozles from Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, because then the elephants on parade, it's literally psychedelic.
Yes.
And that was this dream. So there's this elephant, the elephant's my friend, and we're like going through these like spirals and stuff and going down slides. And then I just hear that there's like this monster in this blank world that's after me because I'm in there. And it was like this coach, but as like some sort of monster. I don't remember what he looked like. I just know it was another like psychedelic monster. But it was in my head, it was this coach. And he was like chasing me throughout this psychedelic world. And I kept losing the elephant friend. And I remember waking up and going to my parents' room and standing over my mom, like one of those creepy children, and like crying, like sobbing. I remember getting in my parents' bed and sobbing, just like remembering this dream. Gosh. And I still remember it. It's like probably one of the only nightmares I ever remember as a kid.
That is so weird.
So that's mine.
It's so weird because like,
did you have
mine's
similar?
kind of similar. I don't know why I'm judging you for like acting like you're on shrooms
when you were also on shrooms.
Yeah, this is like the one that I remember as a child. Besides like my normal fears, like this is the nightmare that I remember. So I was always like, I've always like, even to this day, I have nightmares very often. I just don't remember them. I probably have a nightmare a night. I mean, everybody does, right? Like, you're supposed to dream. Like, so I don't know if that's debunked by this time. I don't have
a nightmare a night.
I have nightmares all the time. And they're very, like, they're more like anxiety dreams. Like, always running, always blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This specific one was when My sister was young. I think I was like 8 probably. So my sister must have been 3. So we probably shared a bed at this point. But I was always very mama bear, like protective. Like even to this day, like my worst fear is that something will happen to my siblings.
Yeah.
So in my dream, we go on this safari. Like we have a Jeep, the safari, okay? And we have a safari guide. And it's like my family. So it's like my dad. My little brother wasn't born yet, so he's not here. It was like my dad, my mom, my 2 sisters, and me. And we have this guide, and he's like driving us around on the safari, whatever. It's very like the guide is cartoony. Yeah. Everything else is real. He's a little cartoony. And then all of a sudden, this tiger, also cartoony, but like to me was just absolutely terrifying, comes and is like on top of our safari thing, our Jeep. And him and the guide kidnap my family and take them away to a cave.
Just your family, not you?
Yes, not me. So it's up to me to save them, of course. Right. And so I find, for some reason, like, it was kind of like a movie. Like, it jump cut to them, and I wasn't there. I was just seeing their plot. And the guide turned into a dodo bird.
As one does.
As one does. And he started, like, getting a big, giant, like, witch's cauldron boiling, because he was going to boil my whole family. Yeah. And they were all in cages in this cave.
And I know there's, like, an episode of something that had to be based off of.
Oh, it has to. Something that I watched had to have gotten to me. But anyway, I found their cave, and I go through, and I have to, like, distract the dodo bird and the tiger, and I get my family out. And for some reason, the exit is, like, a bounce house. And, like, they have to bounce out of it. And so they're leaving, but at the price I got captured.
Oh no!
And they
left. Sacrificed yourself.
And then I woke up and I was just sobbing, crying. Gosh. And I remember like going to my dad, because I used to, like I said, I had nightmares all the time. Yeah. And I would always go to my parents' bed, and my dad I would always sleep on like the foot of their bed like every single night. Yeah. Like my parents did not get good night's sleep for like 9 years.
Your nightmare baby.
Yes. And my dad would always have to like stay right with me to go to bed at night, because I was always just so terrified. Anyway, weird.
I feel like you're like a little Kaylee. No, because you wouldn't have gone upstairs by yourself.
No. Stupid.
Open.
Anyway, I remember doing that, and he was always like so like, I'm so sorry, like come to bed. But this one night, I think he was just so tired.
Oh no!
And he was so mad. Like, he never got mad at me or anything. But it was just Of course, I think that's what accumulated with me too. It was like this nightmare that my dad was mad at me, and he was like, "I'm like, go to bed," and I was like, and then I just sat in the living room and was like crying and like rocking back and forth. And then I think my crying woke him up, and he came and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a nightmare." And he like carried me to the bed. But that was my nightmare. I would also have I also have another vivid. It's usually like around the night that happened that I remember. Like I remember the dream because
you remember the night?
Yeah, I remember like crying to my dad. And I remember I had a nightmare about the Kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean, like the mouth opening. Yeah, because I had very bad stomach pains that night, and my dad had to go to like Walmart when it was like 24 hours and get me medicine. After I had the Kraken dream.
Poor thing. You were just a stressed little child.
That's why I still have anxiety dreams.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. Have you had like a recent, like vivid nightmare?
Yes.
Care to share?
I told you before. Okay, so I'm
literally... Care to share with the class.
Oh, right. I told you. So
I'm just your friend. They're the class.
I'm supposed to take this medication that's supposed to make me not dream, because I have very anxious dreams that do not allow me to rest. Right. And I wake up every hour. Yes. But I just don't take them because I feel like I don't want them. Anyway, other long story short, I keep having reoccurring dreams of being in like mass shootings.
Which is terrifying.
Which is so terrifying. The one I had last night, or it was 2 nights ago, was it kept happening. The same person, same place.
Like a time loop?
No, it was just like it kept happening.
Oh, it was like a repeat, like a serial?
Yes. And we were in these ultra modern houses, so there was no place to hide, and it was all glass.
Oh, gosh.
And so it was very like terrifying. And the house next door, it happened. Then it happened in another place that I was at. And I was like, I know my house is next. I know it's next. And so it was just super, super scary.
Yeah.
And then another one happened like a few nights before that at like a hotel. Like, I don't know. It just keeps happening.
Like mass shooting?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a reality, unfortunately.
I know. That's what I was telling you, was like, I watch all these horror movies and I don't have nightmares of, like, very, very rarely will I have.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like, if anytime I have a nightmare, it's not because of a horror movie I watched.
No, yeah.
It never was. Like, maybe it happened a couple times as a kid. Yeah,
literally a couple times.
But that's probably because I was watching one that I shouldn't have been watching for my age. But it's not because of that. It's because of, like, real life stuff.
That's what, what's her name? Rachel, that I interviewed. She's the
medium.
Hollywood exorcist. Yes. Yeah. I told her, or I asked one of the questions, because she said that you need to keep your frequency high so that entities don't attach to you. And so I said, okay, do you think like horror lowers your frequency because you see these negative, horrible things happen? Do you think it lowers your frequency and then entities attach to you? And she said, no, I don't think so, because horror is a controlled trauma. Mm-hmm. And so like even this movie that did freak me out, it's because like I made this choice and I'm in this controlled environment that I know is not real. Mm-hmm. It's a trauma that I can experience without having to have any of the repercussions. Yeah. You know?
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
I never feel like I've fully been able to grasp or elaborate or explain why I like horror so much. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't feel like I can explain it, but that's like a good way to put it.
I think it's that, and also like horror is fun.
It is, because it's not real life.
Yeah, it's escapism.
Even like the ones that are like about like murders that really do happen, it's still
not real.
Not real.
Yeah.
Not currently real.
Mm-mm.
And it's like a way you can see out.
Yeah.
You can see like, and I always say like good versus evil. Mm-hmm. Yes, sometimes evil wins, but good is always there fighting too.
Yes.
No matter what.
That's why most of the time these people are going through something super traumatic. Mm-hmm. Most of the time you see them like be okay after.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that I really like, or like, right. So,
them actually like
The
Shining,
through it. My favorite. They end up okay at the end. Mm-hmm. Like they fight so hard. The human, what's it called?
Centipede.
Yes, the human centipede. No. The human power. What am I thinking? It's like the will to survive, that word.
Oh, human.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like resilience.
Resilience. Human.
Something.
Human.
Desire. No.
Human. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
Y'all know what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, forget it. I don't know.
You guys know.
You know what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm still thinking about it. Okay. I'm
fully laying on the couch now, by the way.
She has been adjusting. She's comfy now, right?
I'm comfy, yeah.
I'm
relaxed.
And then, this one, good does not win in this one.
No.
But I experienced something new without actually having to
experience it.
It is hard to explain why you like horror.
Especially to someone who like
hates
it or thinks it's like everything about it's evil, or like why would you fill your thoughts with that stuff? it's like it's fighting. We have to fight every day in life.
Yeah.
This is an extreme version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like these people make it out.
Also, I could be like, whew, glad I'm not that person.
Right? It makes me feel better about myself. Did I ever tell you about my recent-ish nightmare? I might have talked about it on the podcast.
Which one?
It was probably like, honestly, 3 years now.
Oh.
But to me, it's still recent because it's still so...
How did that turn on?
Oh my God. So many things are happening right now.
How did that turn on?
It was just an idol.
Okay, but then now...
Okay, guys. The TV just... It was an idol. And it turned on and went back to the Skinamarink page. Right as my ice machine went off.
Yes. So we're scared right now.
So I'm terrified.
We're shuddering.
Let me tell you about my nightmare I had.
Okay.
If I haven't already. I'm sure I have. And so I was sleeping.
Right.
As one does.
As one does when they're nightmaring.
I wake up and I decide to take a shower. So I go take a shower. I'm taking a shower and the lights are off. I was like, and I was in the shower. I was like, why am I taking a shower in the dark? This was dumb. And then there's like a light. There is like a kind of a purplish, not like very light purple on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is going on? Like, am I taking a shower in the middle of the night? Like, what happened? And then I'm like, I am not awake. I am not awake right now. And I turn and I see hands.
Oh my God.
On the other side of the shower curtain.
You have not told me this.
I haven't. I see hands on the other side of the shower curtain. Like first like one, then two, and
were
then
you at like your apartment?
Multiple. No, this was at my grandmother's house. Yeah. Where I was living at
and
the
you
time.
Were like there.
I was there. I was in that shower.
Okay.
And it was like how I always like, if you face a certain way and you put your hair like I was doing it the way I always do it. And I realized I'm not actually showering. I'm sleeping. This is a dream. And I turn and I see the hands on the shower curtain and they're like crawling up the shower curtain. And I literally was like, wake up. And I sat up in my bed.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh my gosh. That was so creepy. That felt so real. And I look over in the corner.
No.
And there's like a figure.
No.
Like a girl figure. Like it wasn't a nice figure. It wasn't a nice like.
It wasn't a nice girl.
Girl sitting in the. It's just kind of hovering in the corner.
Oh my God.
And I laid back down.
You said nope.
I turned over. And then I woke up.
You woke up.
Like woke up.
So you were
straight in bed.
Asleep, woke up, but you were actually asleep and you woke up.
Yeah, it was one of those like horror movies
dream
where
within
they
a
keep
dream.
Waking up.
Literally Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. It was, and it's so
my
vivid. It's so vivid to me still. It's been 3 years. And it's still like the most vivid dream that I've had.
And you told yourself to wake up. That is so scary.
Because I realized I was dreaming. It was like Inception.
You're like lucid dreaming.
Yeah. Lucid dreaming is terrifying. I used to want to be able to do it.
Me too.
I made myself do it one time.
Oh my God. My sister does it. Like just on accident.
I don't get it.
She gets... Wait, what's it called? Besides lucid dreaming?
Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, she has sleep paralysis.
There's a documentary about sleep paralysis.
I could just not function if I knew I did that.
I refuse to watch it because I'm afraid it's going to give me sleep paralysis.
I could not like go about my day being like, yeah, I had sleep paralysis last night.
That is so terrifying.
That is so scary.
So scary.
And the fact that they all have shared like visitor experiences.
Yeah,
that is not cool.
I don't want to be a part of that group. No, thank you.
Please don't tell us your sleep paralysis nightmares. I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, we don't send us those stories. It's the one stories I send.
Yeah, the one time we ask, do not. Y'all will. I know y'all will. Oh.
Well, it's like that. I told you about that dream I had the other night, though.
Yes.
When I like gasped awake.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you said it on the podcast, though.
I thought I did. Well, if I didn't, here it is again. I had gone up to go pee. Mm-hmm. It was kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
Because it was all just like real. I got up to go pee. I was in the bathroom. Like, our bathroom is open to our bedroom. And I was standing there, and the lights were off. And I saw Jared, my husband, sleeping in the bed. And I was like about to walk back to the bedroom. And I heard the door to our bedroom open. And I was like, Jared? And he said, yes. And he was walking into the bedroom. Oh. So.
Somebody else.
And I literally woke up. Like, that was just the dream. I woke up like that.
So scary.
And Jared was like, what? He woke up. The real Jared in real life. Was like,
then what? You woke up again.
And then I woke up again. And then I kept waking up.
Oh, what if this is a dream right now?
Is it?
No. Okay. That just so like freaks me out because I have never really had like a dream rooted in reality. Yeah. That I can remember. Like it's like always
kind of a little far-fetched.
It's always so like vivid and like anxiety, like.
Yeah.
That's why I just don't ever feel very well rested because I feel like my brain is working like crazy at night trying to be like, let's come up with a crazy dream, you know? And I'm like, you really don't have to do that.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm solid.
Like,
thanks.
I'm okay. Like, give me a nice frolic through the meadow. I don't know. Watch our dreams be absolutely heinous tonight.
Text me tomorrow if
I have a heinous dream.
And I'll text you.
I like hearing about dreams and talking about dreams.
I know, me too. It's so interesting.
But some people hate it.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
Yes. It is.
Yes.
Yes.
I used to always look up what my dreams meant too sometimes.
I can't do that.
I feel like they don't really mean anything anymore, but sometimes I'm like, oh, that definitely is.
And I feel like
obviously I'm scared of a mass shooting.
Right. That one seems obvious.
Yeah.
See, but I'm not sure what the shower and the hands and the girl in the corner was. I've never had a dream like that since then.
Also,
knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. I keep having this premonition that I need to take first aid for some reason. I keep thinking about it and I keep looking up when's the next first aid class.
That freaks me out, Emily.
And then I'm having these dreams, so it's really freaking me out.
You're freaking me out.
Should we go to first aid training?
I took a babysitter class once.
I did that too. Well, it wasn't a babysitter. I actually did it for I did it with the police academy.
Oh wow. Mine was just babysitter's club.
They're if the baby dies, doesn't die, so it doesn't die, you learn. So the baby doesn't die.
Yeah. Not so the baby dies.
No. But then also do I want to know that? Because then I'm I'm going to be in charge.
Yeah, that terrifies me too.
I think I remember how to do a tourniquet. That's all I really need to know.
Don't you
Yeah, you turn it.
You turn the kit. Well, guys, we did it.
We ended on a pretty depressing note.
We did, but what's new?
What's new?
Guys, don't forget to shop our store, please.
Shop our store, our slash and slop.
Our slash and slop.
Our slash and slay. Oh my God.
Our slash and slay shop.
Yes. Shop our shop.
We got stuff in there, y'all. And we got some stuff coming up for Christmas, too.
Oh my gosh, we should have a Nightmare Girl t-shirt. Let's have a Skinamarink t-shirt.
We do. We need a Skinamarink t-shirt. It says, a Skinamarink. I'm just brainstorming. If my Skinamarink wasn't sewn on, I'd have lost my head already. You know what I mean?
If I had a penny for every Skinamarink I'd lost, I'd have a lot of pennies.
I've had a lot of Skinamarink.
I'm with Skinamarink.
Skinamarink is my boyfriend's.
Skinamarink and loving it. This guy likes Skinamarink. Anyway, those are all horrible.
Let's go skate at the Skinamarink.
I want to go skating, ice skating.
Let's go ice skate at the Skinamarink.
Not at the Skinamarink. We kept saying Skinamarink is there, but the person's not called Skinamarink.
What?
We were they're in the Skinamarink. Skinamarink is getting them. There's nobody named Skinamarink.
Is it the creature? Is it the entity? Is it the
I think it's just
ether?
the discombobulation of everything. Like,
I guess
it's nonsense.
Like Skinamarink.
Yeah, I think it's just nonsense.
Makes sense.
Now I'm yawning. It is
All right,
late.
it's time to go.
I want to go to bed.
Time to go, guys. Follow us on Instagram at /and/slaypod, at TikTok on /and/slaypod, at YouTube at /and/slaypod. We're on Facebook now at /and/slaypod.
At /and/slaypod?
Yeah.
At /and/slaypod?
Everything's /and/slaypod. So just go there, follow us, love us.
Love me.
Join us next week as we get into Thanksgiving.
Should we have like a little mini Thanksgiving feast?
A mini Thanksgiving
While we eat? A feast?
Why am I shaking? You see that?
Are you scared?
No, I can't hold the mic.
Is it just too heavy? You need to do some... Everybody comment on our next post and say, Alyssa, cancel your Crunch gym membership. It's been like 4 years.
It's been 4 years and I've used it twice.
It's horrible. Join my gym.
I've used it more than that, but...
Come to my gym and walk with me.
I know, but you get up so early.
I'll go in the afternoons with you. You hate the afternoons, though.
I do. I really can't win.
No.
Okay, guys.
Okay, guys.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye.